Now from the Federal Capital Territory Administration, the FCT Emergency Management Agency, Fema, due to the usual concerns on management of floods during the raining seasons, made announcements concerning barricading flood-prone access roads. The Director of Forecasting Response Mitigation, Florence Wenegeme, spoke concerning the barricaded roads of Galadimawa interchange slip roads and others, saying this is in order to maintain the standard of no loss of lives during the floods in the FCT. Director General of Fema, Dr. Abbas Idris, also spoke concerning the importance of the safety precautions, making reference to the visit of the former Malawian President, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Bandan, to Fema in order to inquire how flood has been managed in the FCT, which ensured records of no loss of lives.
The rainy season is sometimes known to come with floods, which could lead to loss of lives and properties. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, along with its stakeholders, have come out with precautionary measures to ensure safety of lives and properties. The Director Forecasting Response Mitigation, Florence Wenegeme, spoke concerning barricading of roads in some locations in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and advised citizens to adhere to road signs and take alternative routes in order to avoid danger of life and property.
Yes, the onset of the rains in 2023 is this May. And that is why we made it a necessity to make sure we block this slip road that comes from Games Village heading towards Galadima Interchange, which is popularly known as Galadima Roundabout. You are all aware of what has been happening along this slip road every year. But to the glory of God, last year in 2022, 2020 and 2021, there was no loss of life in this location. And that is why we have made it a tradition as part of the mitigative measure to save lives and properties in the FCT, to make sure that this slip road and other vulnerable roads are barricaded to stop vehicular movement. And even people, pedestrians, and people that are using tricycles from using this road during the rainy season. Because once there's a heavy downpour, the road is always flooded. We have flash flooding here. Even if it doesn't rain heavily in this location, we have a flash flooding from upstream to downstream here, and the road will be flooded. For us to save lives and properties, the Director General of FCT Emergency Management Agency, on the directive of the Honorable Minister, Minister of State, and the Permanent Secretary, has directed that this road should be barricaded immediately to avoid loss of lives and properties. You can see that this slip road is on a low plane. The road is supposed to be, the height of the road is supposed to be increased. Looking at the topography of the major road, the express road that we have here, heading to the to Galadima Interchange, you see that this slip road is very low. And we are using this as just a temporary mitigative measure, a short-term mitigative measure.
The Director General FEMA also spoke concerning precautionary measures placed on ground for the safety of lives and properties, which attracted the former Malawian president and goodwill ambassador to FEMA on its mode of operations.
The previous years, at this critical time when the onset begins, we don't block those slip roads. We allow the rain to come and then and to see the level it goes before we block the slip road. But going with the prediction as well as the reality on ground, we feel that we should not wait any longer. So we have to block the slip roads and also those other areas that need barricades, which we are also going to ensure that is barricaded completely. Apart from these efforts that we have put in place, we have other measures that will make sure that it takes a course to save lives and properties of the residents of the FCT. And the major one is to really educate the residents of the FCT on the climatical change this year, because every year we have some differences due to climate change. You cannot sit down and say what happened last year is going to happen this year. And when you see by going with the onset that we just started, you now notice that this year is going to be very tough for everybody, and we are not relenting, and we'll carry all the stakeholders. We'll have to educate the stakeholders as well to note that this year is different from last year.
In an event of any emergency within the FCT, please dial the FCT emergency number 112.